Hello, welcome to the stream, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Cam, can you hear me? Cam?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
hey. What's up?
What's up?
We're back. It's been
Howdy.
a couple weeks. Last week was Pride, stuff going on in Knoxville. And then the week before that, I was out of town on vacation. But we are finally back to Dark Souls 2. And I got a big dude coming across a bridge trying to kill me at the moment.
Are you at the bridge at Old Iron Keep?
I am at the Iron Keep Bridge, correct.
Alright, make sure your ring is on.
Ring is
and
on.
Then I'll set my sign. I'll just put it like on the near the big like griffin statue, like at the front of the bridge. Yeah.
Near the griffin statue. Oh yeah, I see. Cool. Well, let me get chat pulled up on my screen. No. There we go. There it is. So today,
Got my sign?
our goal, yeah, I got you, is to
Cool.
get through this giant Mario castle, and then go down to a pool of green goo underground. That is our highly specific, meaningful goal today.
It's on the docket.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Adjusting something.
Well, let me adjust something real quick. I got
Alright.
a thing to put on myself. What do you think?
Nice hat, bro.
I'm pretty sure there's an NPC summon on the other side of this bridge.
There's a couple actually.
Yeah.
So like if you come here, it'll summon one, and then it'll summon one again later.
There was
One of them
that
is
I fought earlier, but I let it kill me so that it would show up on screen. Okay.
Spencer
Spencer
Sharon.
Sharon. Where is Spencer?
Look at her
Sharon?
hat.
Oh, hi.
Oh, Ted's in the chat. What's up, Ted?
Hey, Ted.
Sure do hate you, Spencer Sharon.
Spencer Sharon's got a lot of defense.
She's annoying. Can't stand this.
I like her hat.
Get back here.
I'm wearing the hat of an NPC we ran into last time.
Dang it. Janky.
Nice.
There. That'll take care of
You
it.
know, we've said a lot about Dark Souls 2 being slow.
Yeah.
And it's true that it is very slow. And it is more apparent to me now that I've been playing Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Because Dark Souls 3 takes most of its cues from Bloodborne in terms of the pace of the combat and the enemy spacing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy named Magarold. Anything from this guy I want to buy? Oh, he sells the Jester stuff.
He sells some very important items. He sells
Okay.
this.
Oh yeah, that's super important. I need that. Let's see, does he have the I'm sorry one? That's what I need. Okay. There we are. And he
I'm
sells some
sorry.
spells, which I might end up using, so I might as well. I don't think I'm currently carrying a catalyst though. No, I'm not, because I'm trying not to have too high of an equipment load.
Yeah.
This is an area that I found playing through the first time that I had to go through it in a very specific way. Otherwise,
Really? Did
I
you
would
find this
always-
back here?
Yeah, this is the way. I
Yeah.
have to hit X. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I didn't go through it this specific way, I always got just, overwhelmed and outnumbered.
You go up in that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just depends on how you feel about fighting Alon Knights and stuff like that. Like, I personally kind of typically try to pull a whole bunch of them at once.
Oh, really?
Because I can line them up in a hallway and just, like, swing once and kill several of them. But, either way works. There's,
Right.
like a... Yeah.
Is there
I don't
anything
think one
more?
is
I feel like there's another
particularly...
one.
I have killed a bunch of them while you were running around doing
gotcha.
or talking to that vendor. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
They are not wanting to pull, which is weird.
Huh.
Like even
Forlorn is
there we go.
Oh, they're
that's
not.
probably
They're
why.
not taking damage either.
Uh
I
oh.
hope that's not a glitch thing. I hope it's not an internet thing. So maybe once I'm not
Running
under
back into
siege,
here.
I'm going to tell the story of my internet this week.
Oh man.
Oh,
You get
okay, there it is.
bodied. Okay.
So, I'm curious, people in chat, if how the stream is looking, like if we're running into any lag or anything like that. Since our last stream 3 weeks ago now, I've been trying really hard to get my internet to a functional level. So, part of this story is that one of the reasons that our last stream went really poorly internet-wise is I did not know the entire time that Jesse was in another room watching Netflix, and that was just like throttling my internet. But even then, even when she wasn't watching Netflix, I was starting to run into some issues playing co-op Dark Souls 3. Like I was getting summoned into people's worlds and just like seeing enemies float around all over the place randomly. And like clearly something was wrong with the connection. So I committed to actually like buying an upgraded internet plan, like for Dark Souls, for this stream. And after I did that, the next day I started to notice my internet was even slower than it was before.
You love it, don't you?
I did a speed test. I found that it was uploading at like, I don't know, 50 megabytes per second or something, and I paid for 500. So
yeah,
I called customer service, one of the most unpleasant customer service calls of my life. I was on the phone for like an hour and a half, and most of that hour and a half I had like terminal open. Like she had me typing code into a command prompt.
Great. Oh, hey, come back for... Yeah. I clubbed them.
And eventually what ended up happening is they set up an appointment for... Oh, there's an alarm night. For a technician to come to my house, which happened. And the technician couldn't quite fix the problem as they identified it, so they called like a whole maintenance crew to come to my house and like get on my roof and do some stuff.
Yeah.
And they said it was fixed, and then I found that the speeds had not really improved. So
great.
I've been texting people at my internet provider, trying to get another person out here, and it has not happened yet. So hopefully things are fine. Michael says no lag so far. That's good.
That is good, yeah. It seems smoother this time. Like the last time, it was like clear even when we were talking, like on Discord. Like you were, kind of phasing in and out, that doesn't seem to be the case this time.
Yeah.
But that might have more to do with like bandwidth and
at
Jesse
the very
not
least, Jesse is not
watching
on Netflix. Yeah.
Netflix, yeah.
But yeah, this guy doesn't want to pull. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's strange. There we go.
Nice. What are your thoughts on this area, by the way? I know that it's kind of contentious. Some people really don't like it.
I like Iron Keep. I think it's a cool little. I think it's a nice little. Oh, I'm gonna get that guy with the bow. Oh wait, never mind. We haven't lowered the bridge yet.
Whoop.
Yeah. I think it's a neat little like combination of like some pretty fun enemy combat. Some people don't like Alon Knights. I love them. I think they're a lot of fun to play with their AI and stuff like that.
I mean, they're not that different from like Silver Knights in the first game.
Yeah, they're easier than Silver Knights, but they have interesting AI and stuff. And so I like kind of messing with them and body pulling them and doing stuff like that. Hey, come up here and get this chest.
Oh. Alright, let me get this knight first, because he's going to be throwing us.
Yeah, and then, I think it looks cool. Like, it doesn't look like anything else. Like, the big lava castle is neat.
Doesn't look like anything in Dark Souls, for sure.
Yeah.
Looks a lot like Mario, as has been
Sure.
remarked many times.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, I like it. I think the boss is okay. It's kind of like a better way of doing like Ceaseless Discharge or something.
I like the middle boss.
Yeah, Smelter Demon rules.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. But, you know, the Old Iron King or whatever, he's fine. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to do, like, you fight a big guy, like, that's the best way to do it,
What
I
if there was
think.
a
I mean,
big guy?
Yeah. Imagine a guy who is big.
Can I open that door? I don't think I can open that door down there, right?
Not yet. I mean, you can, but
It's just
it's
fire
best to
in
turn
there, right?
turn all the fire off first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the lever
yeah.
to turn the fire off?
Down there, yeah.
Should I
Oh,
hop
I
down
just
there
rolled
and
into
do
the lava.
it? Oh no. Should I hop down there and do that?
Yeah, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. You have to turn off a couple of levers. There's one that's up top, I think.
See,
yeah.
I don't know if when I played this the first time, if I turned off any of the fire.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, you can get into that room and stuff like that, which is cool, I guess. But yeah.
I don't think I can walk on this for very long. Nope. Okay.
Did you die?
No, I almost did.
Okay. I have moved my sign up to like right inside of the castle. If you want to come and
Okay, hold on. I got a knife.
pick me back up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right inside the castle. See,
Right,
I don't
like
know how I can
like
get
if you're-
back from where I am, actually.
Oh, did you already drop down?
I dropped down.
Yeah. Okay. Just give me a sec to move up.
I could
That'd be
homeward
fine.
bone, maybe?
No, don't worry. That's not worth it. Just give me a sec. Yeah.
Love knocking the knights into the lava. How do I get back? Can I?
I don't know if you can.
Oh no.
It's
oh
fine.
wait, yeah, I can. I can jump over to the lever area. Whoop.
Okay, so now my sign is right inside the castle, like coming your way, like at the entrance. If you can get there.
Oh well. Just
If not, then
describe
just
to me
give me-
where you're at a little bit more specifically, because I can get wherever you need me to get. I just don't know where I'm going.
Okay, just go to the bridge where the guy was shooting a bow and arrow at
Oh,
you from, and I'll
see you.
set my sign there.
I
Yeah.
just summoned you.
Oh, you found it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And we are almost to Smelter Demon.
We are.
Whoa!
Um,
There's a knight. I thought all of them were gone. Another one. Okay.
Fenrir says that your experience with your ISP sounds like every experience he's ever had with any ISP.
Yeah, jeez. I specifically got, and I guess I've been regretting this since talking to you about it, Cam, but I specifically got like a local ISP.
Yeah.
Because I have dealt with Comcast for years, and they're one of the most evil companies in the world.
They're terrible.
And most people don't have a choice. Most people have Comcast and nothing else. As like the nature of the market, it's monopolized. And so I moved to a place that had the option for a local provider, and I was like, yes, I should definitely do that. And like you said when we were talking the other day, like they probably just don't have the resources that Comcast has, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of sort of live in a bit of a society.
We live in a society.
And part of that is that, like, since we won't nationalize anything, the closest you can get on terms of like proper service has to come from like monopolized companies. It sucks.
And I guess we don't need to get like too deep into politics stream or whatever, but like of the things that could be nationalized in this country, internet is very high on the list, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like if water and electricity are owned by your local like, governance, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, this is Smelter Demon.
This is Smelter Demon.
He's cool. He stabs himself because he's got a forge in his chest.
Yep.
And so he like sticks his sword in there and pulls it out and it's on fire. That's very rad. It's really weird because at the very beginning of this game's like life, a lot of people really talked about Smelter Demon like being really hard.
It's pretty hard.
He's not hard. He's like pretty not hard.
I'm not
I
really
would
sure
say.
if my magic weapon or my physical weapon is doing what he's doing. The gimmick here is that if you get close to him, you are like constantly taking a little bit of fire damage, but it's not that much.
Yeah. No, and he also like can blow it up, like do a big explosion, which people don't like, and stuff like that. But especially once you've played, good job. Once you've played Bloodborne and you have to fight like Bloodstarved Beast, like the whole like, wow, I'm taking little tiny ticks of fire damage when I'm close to him is not really that big of a deal.
Right.
When you get close to Bloodstarved Beast and basically become like instantly poisoned. Yeah.
I feel like there's
cool
another boss in Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3 that's like you're just constantly taking damage and have to deal with that, but I'm having a hard time remembering what it is right now.
I don't remember. How's old DS3 treating you?
So I'm in an interesting place in DS3, especially in relation to this stream, because I started it since our last stream, and I'm almost done with it. Like, I've played almost the entirety of that game in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so if you would have asked me how DS3 was going a week ago, I would have given you a very different answer than how it's going right now, which is like, I'm kind of grinding up against what feels like my limits right now. I feel like this is probably the hardest game in the series, at least in my experience.
What, 3?
3, yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about it later if we ever end up getting to it on stream, of course. But I mean, my general sense of it is that it is like doing all the things that are hard about all the Souls games all at once. Like, it is taking inspiration from all of them, including Bloodborne, which you know, adding Bloodborne into the blender of what all the Dark Souls games are, just is really overwhelming. And I think that that's really like kinetic and fun for big portions of it, but there are also portions of it near the end that just feel like way too densely packed with enemies to be enjoyable. Like, I've gone up against multiple bosses at this point that I've like kind of turned tail from and run because like I just don't know if I'm ever gonna beat them. The big one is Nameless King, which we talked about briefly on stream earlier, because one of my students was talking about, you know, being stuck on that dude. But I had the same feeling with Nameless King as I did, like, you know, after days of fighting Orphan of Kos, but I had that feeling immediately. I was like, oh no, I'm just not going to be able to beat this, am I? But I, of course, did eventually get Orphan of Kos. I guess one of the differences between 3 and the other Souls games, with the exception of Bloodborne, I guess, is there's a lot of multi-phase boss fights. And so... And I think that I have decided I kind of dislike multi-phase boss fights on principle, which is that, like, I need time to practice the second phase, right? And I can't practice the second phase.
You lowered this to me on it.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me use my little I'm sorry button. Where is it? Here it is.
I saw that thing lowering and I was like, why?
Oh no.
Wish I could give like the Terminator thumbs up from the lava.
Exactly.
Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna go up into that same room and put my sign near the door. I'm like right next to it. Okay, it's down. How?
Next to the lever?
Near that area.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll see it. But yeah, Nameless King is really not that bad. It's again, like, I don't know. I think Dark Souls 3, I don't know. I've never heard anybody describe it as the most difficult one. I think it kind of maintains a hum of difficulty, whereas other Souls games tend to either like shoot up and then back down really hard, or like in the case of like Bloodborne or something, like they just like Bloodborne just kind of stays at like a fever pitch, and
pedal to the metal, as you described it.
yeah, yeah. Dark Souls 3 kind of maintains this like high level of difficulty, kind of like Bloodborne does, but
right.
It's more in a I don't know. Dark Souls 3's difficulty is a lot more manageable to me. It's also like a game that I have replayed a whole lot, so that probably could be coloring my like experience there. But like, I don't know. I think I wouldn't have replayed it a whole lot if I, you know, found certain parts to be just like unbearably hard, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And you said that you think that I would like it the same way that I like 1, which is, you know, the replayability of 1. And I think that, I don't know, I'm still kind of trying to find the words for this, but my desire to replay 1 has a whole lot to do with like my feeling of mastery over it, right? Like I can now go through these areas that were once very oppressive to me, and like be very calm while I'm going through them. And I haven't had a strong desire to like replay the other Souls games on my own outside of stream, because I don't feel like I ever, the way those games are designed, like I think they are designed differently in terms of like enemy placement and like bonfire locations and stuff like that, to where like the feeling of stress is like more or less constant no matter how far into the game I get. Like I can still go back to those early levels, and like just the way that the enemies are laid out, there's like not room to breathe really. Like I don't feel like I'm exploring a world in the same way. And I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that you can warp between bonfires. Like, because you can warp between every bonfire from the beginning, I think that kind of frees the developers up to make every bonfire run like a gauntlet. And that is, you know, interesting, and like, I like the game. I really like all the games. But there's something about like walking around through Lordran with that feeling of confidence that I don't get from the other games.
I guess I would just, the only thing that I would add to that, that might be coloring your perception here, is that it is the only one that you have done that with, right? So like, I absolutely get not wanting to turn around and start Bloodborne again, right? It's like a game where you finish it, it feels very complete when you finish it, and it like is also super stressful and all that, and it's like it's very like, no matter how good you get at it, like there are parts that are always going to be very difficult and or time consuming or whatever.
It is the Dark Souls that feels like it has the most coherent world though. Like that is the one I am most excited to revisit for sure.
Yeah. Dark Souls 2 obviously has its reasons for not wanting to be revisited as well, many of which we've talked about here on stream. And the thing about 3 is that I feel like you do get that like kind of confidence in 3 in a way. Ow! Shoot me with a special beam cannon. Ow! He knocked me into the lava with it.
Oh no!
Great.
Rip.
Yeah.
We'll see how.
But like I don't know, Emo could tell you as well, like of all of the there's a reason that 3 is the one that I've replayed the most. It's because it's the most fun to run back through, in a way that almost feels like kind of almost like speed runny in a sense, like where you're like, man, I already know how to get to this and get to that and get to this really quickly and blah 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 blah, and like it's no problem. Like I parts, again, like you were mentioning about Dark Souls 1, like parts that were very difficult before now are just like such a breeze, and it's neat to run through a zone that you used to have so much trouble with. And I think I think that is in Dark Souls 3.
I just haven't
but
broken that barrier
you
yet, I
just
guess.
haven't. Yeah, it's definitely there though. It's like it's the one that feels the most to me like a playground, like Dark Souls 3 does. Like it feels very much meant to be replayed and meant to be run through time and time and time again, and
I guess
enjoy
maybe
it.
Part of the reason I haven't had that feeling of mastery as much with 3 or the other games is that you don't need to go back to earlier areas really. And so
Yeah.
like I'm always only playing the hardest thing the game has in store for me.
Sure.
And so like I'm always in that, and this is like ideally where games want to always have you in that. The educational term is the zone of proximal development. Like, what is the thing that is just hard enough for you to be able to do with practice, but not be able to do immediately?
Right.
And I think that one of the really brilliant things about 1 is because you can't warp between bonfires, the world has to be designed for you to be able to like circle back through it a bunch as you're going from place to place. And there's that constant feeling of like, I used to have trouble with this, and now I'm really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess... Whoa, there he goes.
I have a little jump to make here.
Yeah, I guess, like, I prefer the zone of proximal development, and I also prefer the snappiness of design where a dev does not have to... where the devs can just kind of make an area that feels harder than the area before it, and you don't have to spend an extra, what a lot of people would refer to as like padded time, just kind of like wandering back through areas you've already beat and have mastery of.
Right. I guess I've never found that
especially
to be a detriment personally.
Well, like, especially in a game like Dark Souls 3, where it's kind of the point to be replayed. So you will get to go back through those areas, you just got to get through the harder parts first. Yeah.
So when I was fighting, what's the guy's name? Old Iron King, after you fell in the lava, and before I fell in the lava. He was doing the thing where he sticks his hand out to shoot the beam, but he was too like deep into the lava for me to be able to reach his hand, which is not how it's been for me in the past. Usually, like that's when you hit him, when he.
Yeah. Just need to back up, probably. I personally did not know that you that like if you get knocked out at knocked down by the beam and you wait to stand back up, you will still get hit by it again. Usually a lot of attacks don't work that way.
Whoop.
What the? I got him.
So there's a DLC pack for this game called the Crown of the Iron King, or no, the Old Iron Crown. What is it?
Yeah, that's Old Iron Crown, or it's like Crown of the Iron King, Crown of the Sunken King, something like that.
Crown of the Iron King, Crown of the Sunken King, Crown of the Ivory King. Those are the three. So I'm, like I said, when I played Dark Souls 2 the first time, I couldn't make heads or tails of the story, and I think I have a sense of like the center point of the story, like the stuff with King, what's his name? I don't even remember his name at this point. King Vendrick. But I also know that there's like a lot of other stories kind of happening along the side of Vendrick's stories, like you're hearing about different monarchs who like existed in parallel with him or something. And this is one of them, right? What's the story here exactly?
I mean, it's. I think the Iron King's thing had something to do with like innovation and like metal work, like metallurgy or whatever. That was like his whole thing, and then and also being a big dummy that dies fast. I think his like ambitions lied like in the earth or whatever, and his whole thing is like he was corrupted by the greed and all that type of stuff, and like what went so far as to do something wacky, like build his castle on top of lava, which is really stupid, obviously.
Right.
And
I think there's a Bible verse about that. Do not build your house upon the lava.
Because it's really stupid. I think Isaiah might have said that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, I mean, it's all of the kings have like some kind of something like that going on. But it's basically some kind of falls into like a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil type thing. Like they're all kind of like folk tale-y in a
Yeah.
way, but then also spun in the Dark Souls way. So where, oh, the guy that was like greedy and all about like metalworking and industry. Well, he's like a big old Balrog guy now.
Yeah. He is
who
turned
has
into magma.
who has a piece of Gwyn's soul in him and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's as far as I know, that's about all there is with him. I think it's the Ivory King is the one that was like a leader, like a big leader guy. I can't remember. Is Ivory King the one that when you fight him, you can like have knights come and help you fight against his knights? Is that Ivory King?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah, a Burn Ivory King or whatever.
Burnt
Yeah,
Ivory King.
yeah, very cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna level up a little bit.
I just did. Now we're going down into this hole, right in the middle of Medulla.
Yeah, good luck. I will meet you at the bottom.
I have
of
already
the hole.
bought all the ladders I need.
Oh wow, taking the easy way.
Taking the easy way.
Yeah. So for people who haven't done it or like
I mean, I
weren't
could
in
do
our
it
first
once
couple.
just for people to see it. Hold on.
Well, like
put on a cat ring.
Yeah.
You
or like who aren't.
Like to explain?
Yeah. For people who weren't in our first stream or whatever as well, like I did what Andrew is about to do at 0 level, like as soon as I started the game, and it was torture.
Right.
I actually did the whole thing. Well, not the whole, but a big portion of what we're about to do when I was like first level. All I had done was save up enough to get the cat ring.
It puts this big hole in the first area so that you will try to jump down it and realize, oh, fall damage is a thing in this game.
Yeah.
Like, in a major way.
Unless you have a cat ring.
Unless you have a cat ring, which you can buy in the first area. Okay, this is why I bought a ladder.
You should have a cat ring, by the way. In every game that it exists, you should wear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, my sign is down next to the gutter bonfire. I'll just wait for you here.
Oh, are we not going to do the rat authority?
Oh, do you want to do a rat Vanguard?
Vanguard? Yeah, that's a fun fight. I like it.
Okay, we'll go. I'll meet you over there then.
Okay.
The upper gutter. We'll go to Harvel's resting place.
I do agree, Ammo, that 3 is much more fluid of a game. Like it feels 3 and Bloodborne are the 2 games that I think probably have the best game feel. And it's like really apparent going back to playing this one after playing Bloodborne and 3 that like something just feels off in the weight of everything.
Oh, wait a sec. Wait a tick. I don't think we can do Vanguard together.
Oh, I
think it's a single.
Rat?
Yeah, I can't put my sign down anywhere. Let me go see if I can next to the bonfire before I just call it quits.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's solo only. So.
Okay. Well, people can watch me fight some rats.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute.
I will go to the gutter.
Oh, this
and wait.
is locked. Oh, this is not the door I need to go down. What's the door I need to go?
Where?
I'm lost in a hole. Oh, I need a jump from somewhere. I may actually have to make the whole cat ring jump down. That might be the only way to get to where the rat authority is.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I do have the bonfire lit in there, so if I can't get this in a try or two, I'll just warp down to it, but let's give it a shot.
Ted also says the other thing about replaying Souls games is that you can experience the game differently. First time you're just trying to get through, subsequent plays you go in different directions as well. Yeah, I think that's a really interesting way to look at 3, especially with 3. Because, I mean, Emo can tell you there have been so many times where he and I have been playing through the game together, and we will, like, start the game and beeline it for, like, the very last area immediately to go and get, like, some rings or something.
Yeah.
And you can do it. You can, like, I mean, it'll take a minute, but you can, like, go around and, like, just kind of get to the cathedral as quick as you can and get, like, warped by Gale and all that type of stuff, like, pretty quickly if you know how to do it. So it's, like, that's kind of another thing with 3, is that whole thing. And also, it's interesting, I think, to go back and do some of the bosses after you have fought other ones. Like, some bosses that might have seemed very, very hard at the beginning seem a lot easier when you go back through them again. Yeah. Like, I personally think that, like, after you fight Champion Gunder, like, Udex Gunder at the very beginning, you're kind of like, who is this dummy? Like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
But
I love the Champion Gunder fight. It's so good.
Yeah. But when you very first fight Udex Gunder, or whatever, the first Gunder, he's, like, really hard. He's a very hard starting
really
fight
hard
for a
about him
game.
is that he does this thing that a couple of enemies do early on in the game that doesn't really show up much after that, where he has, like, this Resident Evil Las Plagas thing that pops out of his head, and it's really hard to tell, like, where the edges of it are, like, where it's gonna hurt you, and also it, like, gets all up in your camera and makes it just hard to maneuver the space. And there are things like that here and there in 3. I think for the most part 3 is pretty fair. But I do find myself fighting with the camera in some boss fights. Like, the beginning of Nameless King is pretty easy. It's pretty doable. But the thing that always makes me die when I die to it is the camera messes up and I can't see where he is, and then he kills me. I should probably just not lock on, I guess. But
yeah, my advice would be just don't. With a big boss like that moves around that much. Like, I don't lock on a Calamite even. Like,
yeah.
I really only honestly lock on to, like, really small bosses or, like, small enemies or whatever. I don't really lock on that much. I'm like a big, I mean, this is probably just me, but I'm like a big, I don't like to lock on guy.
Oh, really? I lock
like,
on to everything,
whether it's in these games or, like I don't really like locking on that much in Zelda, even though you kind of have to. I just don't really like it.
Yeah.
And then, very notoriously, like, I never do it in Monster Hunter ever, because I just don't. I, like, learned the game when it wasn't even a feature, and now it's a thing in Monster Hunter, and I just, like, I hate it. I never lock on to anything.
Speaking of Monster Hunter, I bought Monster Hunter Rise, and played it for a little while when I was on vacation, and like, I don't think I gave it a fair shake. Don't take my opinion on Monster Hunter right now as any sort of definitive thing, but I really could not get into it. Like, I had such a hard time with it. I found it really like, non-intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very big barrier to entry, and if you can kind of stick it out through that, or you don't, and I don't know. Monster Hunter is not an intuitive game. I don't think it's, like, the point.
I went into it, with several Souls games under my belt, thinking, well, this is gonna be easy because I've played all the Souls games, but I have still yet to beat the first monster in Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that would that could potentially make that the case. It's
just a matter
Monster Hunter is not
getting used to the very fundamentals of the controls.
Yeah, and also, like, if you are basing your experience too much off of Dark Souls, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, it's the easiest touchstone to kind of refer back to in terms of the way the game kind of handles but it is also not like Dark Souls. Like,
Yeah.
the combat is much faster. You got to be much more snappy. Also, like, there is like just straight up like an element in the game of like combos, like almost like fighting game style combos and stuff that you need to do. And I mean, there are some weapons where you don't really need to. Like, you could use a greatsword. You don't really need to combo anything with a greatsword.
Right.
You could use one of the bow and arrows or the bow gun or whatever. You don't really need to combo with those. But most of the weapons, you do need to learn like combo routes and stuff like that. If you're not willing to do that, then the game is not going to be that good. Whereas Dark Souls, you kind of just hit R1 or R2 and roll around right and all that type of stuff.
It's much more about spatial awareness than about the dexterity of like being able to memorize and execute combos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, my take on that is I think that most people who don't want to learn combos just don't want to learn combos. I don't think there is like a lot of dexterity involved with it. I think a lot of people try to do something like that once or twice, and then they're like, I can't do this, and then they give up.
That was my experience with like Bayonetta. Is like the only game that's really like that I've spent much time with. And eventually in that game I was like, I'm just gonna mash buttons because like that seems to be getting me somewhere faster than trying to memorize combos.
Yep. And on the in the exact same way that we have talked about how Dark Souls puts off some players because some players expect the game to be handed to them.
To let them mash buttons,
Yeah. I believe that a lot of input-sensitive stuff is because some players just kind of pick up a controller and they're playing a game and they just want to be strong and good at it. And they don't want to, like, work for it at all, which is fine. It is a different type of experience. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But, like, do not tell me if you are someone who is like, yeah, I like can play, for example, some of the like high level shooters and like play on a competitive level and like have the super tight like shot cluster and know how to like move my character around properly and all that type of stuff because I spent all this time on it. Don't tell me that you can't learn like pressure and combos and stuff in a fighting game or in like a Monster Hunter or something. Like, you absolutely can. It is not that hard. It just takes time. Barring some kind of which is obviously the case, like some kind of like literal like physical issue, like with your hands or your joints or whatever. It's absolutely doable. It's just that most people do not want to do it.
It's a matter of where is the motivation coming from.
Yes, yeah. And it's like a big peeve of mine whenever people talk about like, well, I can't do this or that in games. I'm like, yes, you can. Like, it is not that hard. Like, you just have to learn how to do it. You just don't want to learn how to do it. Like, for example, like one of the things that I kept talking to you about when you were very first playing through Dark Souls is I was always like, you beat Hollow Knight. Like, you can beat Dark Souls. You beat Hollow Knight, you like did everything in Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is very hard and very fast, and you have to be very precise all the time. And it's like, if you can do that, you can play Dark Souls just fine.
And I think Dark Souls, and we talked about in an earlier session, like the difference between the appeal of Dark Souls for me versus the appeal of fighting games. And like the lack of appeal of fighting games for me. And you mentioned that like, well, you probably enjoy progressing through the narrative and exploring the world and leveling up and customizing your character and stuff like that. And that's absolutely true. Like, if the RPG elements of Dark Souls were not there, I would not have a reason to want to learn it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's just that like, like, I think that you would recognize like, I have no motivation.
Right.
Versus I can't. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot do this. It's like, you can, but you don't want to, and that's fine. You can just say you don't want to do it. But like, a lot of people like to use that word can't. And I always just want to be like, bro, we are not talking about like running a 100-yard dash. Like, you absolutely can do this. It is not that difficult. Like, if you can work a cash register, you can do most fighting game combos. Like, it's not that difficult.
If you can dodge a wrench.
That's right, yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to chat. Is there anything in chat that I need to respond
to? Emma says that he used to be one of those people. Actually, Cam can attest to that. Yes, Emma used to use can't a lot, but it's not so bad anymore.
I just saw. Speaking of our can't conversation, I just found a great message that says, "Listen carefully, give up."
Ted says that deaf people have been playing Street Fighter because they had stereo sound cues for everything. Yes, exactly. With the accessibility thing too, like. I love when people talk about accessibility with games, because I think it's like really important that we do have like accessibility options. But I also side eye the crap out of people who only bring it up whenever you say, bro, you can do a combo in a fighting game, and they're like, well, like accessibility, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, come on, you do not care about that. Like you're just bringing it up because you don't want to learn how to hit like triangle, triangle, quarter circle, circle, or something. Like you don't,
Right.
Yeah, Ted said he meant blind people. I knew what you meant, Ted. You can there are people who have played Street Fighter on stereo sound cues alone, like that literally can't see the screen.
Speaking of not being able to see the screen, I walked into the gutter without a torch and am not sure where to go.
Do you have a flame butterfly?
Oh, you're right. I do have a flame butterfly.
Yeah.
I forget those were a thing in this game.
Yeah. Hey, weren't you the one that was talking about how much you liked how the torches work in this game?
I love the torches in this game.
Yeah.
I just fell through something and then was like hanging on the edge of a platform. Man, where was the last bonfire? Is it right after Royal Rat Vanguard?
It's right before Royal Rat Vanguard.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I get like peeved with people talking about when they bring up accessibility like some kind of gotcha against like games that require, quote unquote dexterity, and it's like, dude, I've never heard you talk about this before, like ever, and now you're like, oh, I can't play, I can't beat Guts Man in the first Mega Man game, so like now I'm super concerned with accessibility. It's like, I don't know, it's very patronizing.
I've been talking to our mutual friend Michael O'Malley about the first Dark Souls because he borrowed my copy and he's playing through it right now. And he's definitely like gotten over some pretty big difficulty like bumps for him. Like early on, he was just kind of like, as a lot of people are, as I was my first time playing through Dark Souls, like real whiny about everything because like Dark Souls like just requires you to completely rewire your brain in terms of like how you're used to playing video games. And so everything feels unfair, even though it's not. Your expectations are somewhere else,
Yes.
But one of the big things that he was complaining about was like the lack of a true pause button in Dark Souls,
God.
which is like totally not a big deal at all. Like you can quit the game to the main menu in 2 button clicks or 3 button clicks.
Yes, and it saves where you were.
It saves exactly where you are. Yeah, constant autosave.
Yeah.
But yeah, he brought up like, it's something that is not conducive to certain people's lifestyles. Like he has a kid, he has a baby that he's taking care of. Of course. And so like at any given moment he might have to put it down to help with the baby. And I get that, but also like you should probably only play Dark Souls when you have like a dedicated couple of hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should only play like enter into combat when you know that you're not like you can actually commit to that combat, right?
Sure. I mean, and obviously, like, a retort to that would be, well, you don't really know when combat's going to strike. Obviously, that's fine. But, like, you can play a different game when you don't have time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
you can die. Like death. You
can just
for
die.
Death, like,
die
not at all in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Really.
Death is a mechanic. Yeah.
You lose some souls, but I think another thing was like early on he wasn't really on the same page as me in terms of like, well, 4,000 souls isn't really that much, Yeah. It doesn't matter if you lose 4,000 souls, but for him it was a big deal at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, it's a common thing too for people to see death in a video game as a punishment, right? Like you look at it and it big letters pop up, you died, whatever,
I actually recently watched a video essay that Jim Sterling made about Dark Souls that I had not seen before, where he talks about the whole like get good thing.
Yeah.
And he made a really good point, which is that when you die in Dark Souls, it does not say game over. It says you died.
It says you died.
Yeah.
It just tells you what happened.
Matter of factly.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is brilliant, actually.
Yep.
Like you
I love that.
You will die again, but the game is not over. Keep going.
Yes. It's the point. One might even say it's the point of the game.
Literally the point of the game. Yeah. Whoa. This is a sad little area. This is like we just dropped into some people's house.
Yeah, they're just chilling.
Trying to live. Scrape by their meager little existence here.
Broke into somebody's little like pizza party they're having down here.
I don't know if they have pizza.
No pizza.
There's no pizza in the gutter.
Yeah.
How do we get out of here? Jeez.
Over here.
Is there another wall that drops?
Watch me. Watch and learn.
Okay. I'm learning. Oh, we're jumping. Okay. This is probably the best area in terms of like the use of the lighting engine in this game. I love lighting up the gutter gradually.
It's cool.
There are certain
it's
items
also
that you can get in all the games that like light your way.
Right, like breadcrumbs.
But they reset every time you die, so they're not really that useful. But this does not reset, and it's exactly what I want out of that item.
Yeah. I really love that about this area, about like walking through it, and you can always kind of like look around and see where you've been.
Yeah, because it is a maze. Nice. Like people have described Blighttown as a vertical maze, and this is much more of a vertical maze than that even is.
Okay. Is there an item here? I think I got an item.
There's a big beastie in here.
Yeah. Be careful with the heart things; they'll break your swords.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Oh, that guy's not dead. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was. Oh wait, I just wasted a flame butterfly because I thought it was an Estus. Whoop.
Emo says his soul level 1 run of Dark Souls 3 and Dragon Ball Fighter Z got me off my BS with that whole mindset, made me woke. Yeah, it's a big thing in fighting games, like huge thing about being like, this is your fault. the you messing up here is what caused this to happen. You have got to come to terms with the fact that you made a friggin' mistake, and that is okay. It's a game. It's not real life.
The thing that I love about Dark Souls is that you can make mistakes, but there's also not just one way to play it. You know, it's not necessarily expecting absolute perfection in terms of like a specific series of button presses. Like there's always several different approaches you can take based on your playstyle or your build or whatever.
Right.
Which is one reason why it's so replayable.
Yep. I'm trying to think. Oh, we haven't been over there yet. That's where
we have not.
Oh, okay. I know where we are now. I kind of got turned around there for a second, but I know where we are.
No clue. Whoop! I'm back. One sec.
Yeah, Emma, I know what you mean. Like he says that that was for the whole I can't thing. Yeah. Exactly. Because if you start looking at that, and you with the whole like, oh well, I can't do this, I can't do that, then like you have nowhere to go. You can't progress. You can't like get any better at the game because you're just saying I can't do it. You know, it's kind of like the like a personal version of like, you know, deploying the whole like boys will be boys thing, right? Like they can't be someone can't be expected to ever improve at anything because it is your nature to fail or whatever. It's like I don't buy that at all. I mean, obviously there are cases where it is true. There are times where like things will have some kind of physical or, you know, temporal. Someone will be at a physical or temporal disadvantage. Like, obviously, if Michael O'Malley is trying to fight, you know, Artorias and his son is having, you know, a fit or is hungry or something, like it's going to be harder for him.
Yes.
And you have responsibilities that are outside of a game, and it would be deranged to suggest otherwise. But like That doesn't mean that you can't like come back in a couple of hours and try to fight Artorias.
Yeah, and it's also like an artistic choice, I think. Like games are allowed to be art and make demands of their audiences, right? Like you also probably wouldn't get the same experience if you watched Stalker while, you know, your kid is crying in the background, you know?
Exactly. This is the second time we've referenced Stalker, I think.
Is it?
in these streams. I think we oh no, you know what it is I said that this game's narrative is like Stalker one time when we were talking
Dark
about
Souls
the game
2?
outside. Yes.
Remind me of how Dark Souls 2's narrative is like Stalker, because I forgot.
In that it appears very like convoluted, but you can still very easily glean like the main thrust of what it's trying to do. Yeah.
Where are you, by the way?
I just dropped past you. Just keep. I'm behind you.
There you are.
Yeah.
I'm a little turned around. Oh wait, we're
It's
going
all
across
good.
this bridge.
Yeah.
Thank you, torches.
Yeah. So for everyone who wasn't in our first stream, I explained that in order to get my club, had to do this whole part that we're doing right now.
Level 1.
At starter level.
Which the enemies here are not bad. They pretty much all go down in one hit, except for those big beastie guys.
They do not go down in one hit when you have a broken sword and that's it.
Oh, you didn't even change your sword?
No, I didn't want to spend any souls. So yeah.
I thought for sure you just
soul
like,
memory.
pick up some swords from early fodder enemies or something.
Oh, I got knocked out.
Is there
the
another
only
bonfire?
Yeah, you're close to the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. But like the only swords that you can pick up before you can do the cat ring thing would be if you want to go to Forest of Fallen Giants and get like the short sword or something, which I did not. Or if you wanted to, you can get like the Hide Knight swords and stuff, but like those require stats that I didn't have.
Right.
So I was using a broken sword. It was okay. We got through it.
Okay, I am now next to the a fog wall. That's not a fog wall to the boss, I don't think.
No, it's not. Yeah, just
Any
go on through there. The bonfire is not far. The bonfire is not far past that fog wall.
Okay.
If you want to just go through that fog gate and wait. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, just wait right inside there. I'll put my sign down.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, it's down.
Right inside where the fog wall was? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like
We're
not
right.
having any internet issues today.
That's good.
Oh, Ted, I did not know you were a Stalker fan. Glad to hear it.
I think he's talking about Stalker the game and not Stalker the movie. Yeah.
This is like 1 year for Jordan's birthday, people were talking about getting him a game called Vampire, and I was like, I love Vampire, the 1930s Danish film by Carl Theodor Dreyer. And everyone was like, LOL, no.
Be quiet. Silence, nerd. This is what we're talking about.
We're talking about cool things.
Ted says, real baby level fighter mindset to blame the game. And not like Emo having trouble with his controller, which is something that Emo has sometimes. But like you feel like you shouldn't have latched onto a ledge in Smash, or I'm sure the Street Fighter example. And Ted is talking about the Stalker movie. And yes, I think Stalker is Russian, right?
It is Russian.
Yeah.
Are we going? We're not going down, are we? There's just items down.
We
right?
We are going down.
We are going down. Okay.
Yeah. That's where you get the club is down here.
Actually,
I'll just meet you at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, we can meet the bottom.
There's lots of different ways to go. Yeah. Just don't get blown up. There's an item over there. Hang on.
Over here?
I'm gonna over there. Oh wait.
I just dropped.
Never mind. There's a little explodey boys here, so just be careful. Also, there are ladders that just like don't go all the way down.
Yeah, I just fell down one.
I use the cat ring, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I still have it equipped from my adventures in the hole.
Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, I guess if we're gonna have
this is the way, right?
Like, yeah, hang on. I got.
break my
I got.
weapon.
Yeah, we actually watched Stalker. Jessica and I watched it over quarantine. Watched
So
it for
good.
the first time. Yeah, it is. It's wasn't really do. Oh, hold on, my whip. I need to get my whip out.
Oh yeah, it's Black Gulch time.
It's gulch. It's the gulch hour. The gulching hour. You don't need your torch
Yeah,
anymore. We
no
can
more
see.
torch.
See by the light of the poison
The
in
light
here.
of the goo.
Uh,
Let me light this
okay,
bonfire.
go and get your bonfire, yeah. And I'm gonna change my equipment.
Man, when I first played through this, I had a guy who kept invading me here over and over and over.
All right, behold.
It's whip time. I love the noise it makes. It's very satisfying.
Yeah. Oh, whoops, I missed. There we go. For those who haven't played Black Gulch, this is probably not the most entertaining thing in the world.
No,
However,
it is
normally
very necessary.
these statues just pelt you with poison all the time,
Yeah.
and the whip lets you hit them from very far away.
Get those
and
over there too.
Yeah, I gotcha. Ow. There we go.
Let's get these like big hand aliens.
Ah, I got poisoned.
Whoop. Whoop. Trying to lock onto you.
I really appreciate whenever Dark Souls does a classic like fantasy game enemy.
Oh, is this a classic fantasy game enemy?
Yeah, you ever played you've played like Zelda, right?
Yeah.
So like in Zelda, there's this like hands that come down from the ceiling and take you back to the start of dungeons or
I
whatever.
thought you were talking about like something from the D&D monster manual or something.
I mean, it is, yeah. That's where like basically it comes from.
What are these called?
I don't know. But I mean, it's just neat that whenever Dark Souls does one of them, they're like, it's horrifying actually, instead of like kind of goofy.
It's gross.
The mimic being like the like main version of that.
Oh, I didn't know
there's
mimics
something
were
back-
a D&D thing.
Oh yeah, and a bunch of things. Like they're in all kinds of stuff. In Kid Icarus, there are mimics also. They're called Mimicutie, and it's like a treasure chest. And when you try to open it, it like sprouts legs wearing a bikini, and they like just like a machine gun kick you over and over and over until you die.
Ted says that he watched Stalker in high school, which is unfathomable to me. Like I watched Stalker after getting a literature degree and had a hard time with it. And then I watched it again over quarantine and thought it was amazing. This worm. There's a thing down there that we will need to go do eventually. But not today. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nice.
Hey,
Whoop. There's another bonfire over here, right?
yeah, you got to use a fragrant branch of yore to get it though.
Worth it. Invaded.
Yeah, by the woodland child.
I'm gonna wait until our troubles are over.
Yeah, just draw him back here so that we don't get
Is
poisoned
this
to
an
death.
NPC or a real person?
It's an NPC, yeah.
Come
Keep
on,
backing
woodland
up.
child. Sweet woodland child. Oh! Get me out of here! Nope. This is a heavily shielded woodland child. Ah. or
Wow.
Banish? Okay, let's get this bonfire.
Finral says, mimics look the way they do in this game because Miyazaki didn't find the concept of mimics surprising enough by themselves. Yeah, I mean, well,
Oh man.
his take on mimics is very good, I
Speaking
think.
of
Where
mimics
they're
being surprising, the first mimic in Dark Souls 3, or the first chest in Dark Souls 3 being a mimic, is a real power move.
yeah, it's very funny.
I laughed aloud by myself in my home.
You're like, dang, they got me, boy.
They got me. Because, like, my instinct was to kill it. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not going to kill it. It's the first chest. There's no way they would make the first chest a mimic. And then they did. Alright. Oh. Still got I'm poisoned.
Sorry, buddy. I'm doing my best over here.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Okay, I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
There's a couple down here. That's it.
It's time to kill Drang Lake's foremost worker co-op. Have you seen the Brian David Gilbert video where he talks about which Dark Souls bosses would be the best actual boss?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He talks about this, the Rotten being the best boss because the best boss is you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ammo, speaking of there being so many mimics in Dark Souls 3, there's one section of the game, I'm trying to remember what it's called, where like almost every chest is a mimic, and I just didn't open them.
Yeah.
There's also a section of it, I think it's right before Yorm the Giant, where there's like a ton of dudes surrounding these two chests, and two gargoyles who drop down. But the chests they're guarding are both mimics. Like, I just made suicide runs for both of them to check if they were mimics. And then I was like, well, there's no way I'm actually doing this.
My favorite thing about mimics in Dark Souls 3 is when you're at the bottom of the catacombs of Karthus, you can get the big old demon between catacombs and the smoldering lake to blow fire and activate a mimic, and then the mimic can go down there and just like kick the crap out of the demon. It's great. They will, one or the other one will just like decimate the other one. It basically just depends on if the mimic can get down to the demon.
There's a good deal of enemies fighting other enemies in that game. I always appreciate it when it happens.
Yeah, it's neat. I love how like the dark wraiths in that game, how they just like are just trying to clean up shop everywhere they go.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's maybe my favorite instance of it. Oh, AoE. I forgot you had one of those. Oh, fire! Oh no, we got so close! Okay, well, we're super close to it.
I killed him.
You killed him.
Did you get this? Did you get the soul?
We'll see. It didn't give me an indication that I did.
Just check and see if you got it. I mean, you still have to light the primal bonfire, so it doesn't really matter.
Let's see. Did I get the soul? Nope.
Oh.
Alright. Well, let me summon you one more time.
Alright, hang on. Let me get down to that bonfire down there. I need to just, hang on. Ayo. Use the old bone.
Speaking of Hollow Knight, have you watched the Drawfee Hollow Knight / Dark Souls? I have no idea what that is, so no. But link us.
Link us.
Or like at me on Twitter or something.
You're at Hidden Chamber, right? That
I
bonfire.
believe that's what it's called. Yep.
Man, it's only 1:18, Swaff. Are we gonna push?
Yeah.
I mean, this was what we had on the docket for today, but we could try to push further somewhere if you want to.
Let's see. Let me open up my little map of Drang Lake because it's so convoluted.
I have my sign down next to the bonfire.
Okay. I'm still waiting on it. Okay, so we've gotten the Primal Bonfire at Sinner's Rise. We've gotten the one at Iron Keep. We've gotten the one at Black Gulch, which means the only one left... Oh, no, we've gotten all 4 after this one. Brightstone Cove Sildora is the other one. So that means that we could go to Drangleic Castle? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, we could storm the gates. I am not seeing your sign, but maybe am I not human? I thought I was human. Yeah, I'm human.
Next to the bonfire that's like in the secret little passage, right?
Yeah. The one closest to the boss door?
That's there. That's where I'm at.
Oh, there it is. It just took a minute. Yeah, I mean, we're close to the technical end of the game. Though there's so much DLC that we have more to do.
Yeah.
And I would like to do all that DLC specifically because there's a boss that I didn't beat my first time around that I want to get revenge on. Alright, here we go.
Ah.
Oh, I didn't
run! Ayo.
Where are you?
Woodland Child Gully is back.
Woodland Child?
I'm by the door.
Okay, let's just get him out of here.
Run.
Poison. Bye, Woodland Child.
Uh-oh, let me in. Okay. Ayo. Yeah, you're going to want to heal there, my friend.
Yeah, I'm popping a life gem and taking Nestus. Alright. We meet again.
Ayo! He grabbed
Oh no, I hate that move. I can't hurt him while he's doing it either.
Oh right, he just like gives you the old squeeze. That's not too bad. Watch out.
Moonbeams don't do much on this man. Whoop!
Uh-oh.
Got him.
Rip. Oh, you're about to see the man. If this is your last Primal Bonfire. Yeah.
I didn't do the Aldia arc my first time through because I messed it up somehow. But I'm really excited to do it this time.
He's got some of the best like standalone quotes in the whole series, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's the freaking exit?
Wait, did you talk to Aldia? You have to talk to Aldia first.
I don't see Aldia.
You have to go try to light the bonfire, and
Where's
then
the
he
bonfire?
pops out. In the middle.
You say that. Hold on, I got a alien hand who just walked into the boss.
He was waiting the whole time. That guy was chasing me.
He's like, I'll wait. Okay. I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but I don't see a bonfire in this room. I also don't remember having a problem with this when I played it on my own. Oh, there's there's a tiny little doorway. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's in there.
We got a petrified something. And we got a primal bonfire and a room full of neon green goo. Oh, here he is.
The man.
The man himself. Is this supposed to be like just his head, or is this him?
It's him. He's like sticking up out of the ground. I think that's like all is
But
left
am I
from
seeing
of
his
him.
head and his shoulders? Is there a rest
Yes.
of him?
I don't think so, but that's what it's supposed to look like, is his
Okay.
head and shoulders. Yeah, yeah. That is, by the way, for those who don't know, that big old weirdo he's talking to right now is the titular scholar of the First Sin.
Correct.
That is him right there. He's the dude. He's Vendrick's brother.
I didn't know he was Vendrick's brother.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting how he says you have two paths. You can inherit the world or destroy it, but the game doesn't actually give you a choice. It makes you inherit it. I'm sure people who are watching us have already played this game and already know the thing with Vendrick, but I'm gonna try to avoid saying what happens with Vendrick because it's just so cool of a reveal.
Yeah. Is that the is is that the convo with what's his name, with Aldia, where he's like talking about like men are the props on the stage of life and all that stuff?
I don't think he said that just now.
It's like one of the best things ever in any game, I think. He's like, I think it's like men are props on the stage of life, but no matter how gentle or exquisite a lie remains a lie, something like that. It's great.
Definitely did say that.
Okay.
Unless I rewatched the stream and realized he did say that and I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Man.
Okay, so what is the bonfire that I want to go to if we're headed to the castle?
You want to go to Shaded. You want to go to Shaded. No. Ruined Fork Road. That's where you want to go.
Ruined Fork Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted says in the first game you do get a choice, and I guess you do. I guess 3 there are a bunch of different endings. I don't know if they give.
Oh
you
yeah,
choices
baby.
Or not.
Oh yeah, baby. There's a lot going on in the ending of 3, like a whole lot.
Which way am I going? Left.
I think you go like north, like straight out.
No, that's
you
to
go
the
around
Fogwoods. Or do I need to go to the Fogwoods?
No. You want to go where there's like the 2 little like plague dog rat guys, and you'll run.
Yeah.
You'll run past a big boy, and then there will be like the big fantasy door that you walk through.
Do I have the? I don't have the King's Ring yet, right?
Wait a sec. No, that's not what that is. That's to get somewhere else. That's after you. Oh, you need to go. That's right.
Where am I
you
going?
need to go find. You need to go find Vendrick, right?
Yes. And he's in
he's not.
Undead Crypt.
He's in the crypt. Yeah.
How do we get there again?
Yeah.
I don't have the map anymore.
I forgot. Let me go back to my bonfire and I'll tell you. The crypt. Where is the opening to the crypt? Let me think.
Would be super cool if we could get to Vendor today, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
The crypt is.
Wait, no, don't you do the castle before you do the crypt?
Yeah, you gotta get to Shrine of Amana to get to the crypt.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it is left.
Oh, okay, that's right. There's the little thing that runs down. I always forget about that.
The map of this game is real weird.
It is.
As we've discussed.
These, like, wonky Falcon Knight guys.
Big door. But I can't open the big door, right? Produce a symbol.
You
of
will,
king.
because you... No.
Do
You
I
need
have
to
the ring?
go... No. Remember, you got to get Vendrick to do that. You got to go the way where like the Falcon Knight guys are. I'm pretty sure. You're
So,
trying to get to the
right,
door that...
not left.
Maybe left if you're at the bonfire, like looking at it as if you're looking at the bonfire. And then there's a big old door that is the Shrine of Winter, and it'll open if you have 1,000,000 souls or have lit the 4 primal bonfires.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be running past like a bunch of the weird like Falcon Knight guys, like, or fighting them, whichever. The guys with the weird, they have like a weird walk animation.
Mm-hmm.
They're like not finished in the
yes.
game data.
I do
Yeah.
see.
You run through that whole zone. There's a lot. I'm like running through it right now to double check. Like where is the first place I can be summoned, and it's not for a bit. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll see how far we can get before 2.
There's some Invisiboys.
Sure are. Oop. Got ambushed.
Okay, let's see
Not
here.
doing good.
Oh, Ted linked that Drawfee thing, I think.
Sweet. I will check that out.
Emo says he's never beat the Ivory King. This day I still haven't ever
Ivory
finished the
King
game.
is so cool. I love that.
Yeah,
fight.
he is cool.
Oop. Big wiener boys again.
Okay, so you still can't summon me
Invisiboy.
when it's still raining. I think you'll probably be able to summon me like right in front of the bridge up to Drangleic Castle.
Okay.
That's my guess. I'm still not up there yet.
The like visual reveal of Drangleic Castle is
Dope.
incredible.
Dope.
So cool.
Extremely cool.
Do you have any thoughts on like weather and time in these games? Like, I know that we haven't mentioned Elden Ring, but one of the things that has been announced about Elden Ring is that it's going to have like a time of day mechanic and weather mechanics.
Yeah.
And in all the Souls games leading up, it's like certain places just are always nighttime, or certain places are always raining, or whatever.
Right.
I am assuming it's just video gaminess and not for
Yeah.
a particular reason.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what it's supposed to be. If you want to like really dig into like, you know, the whole like the flow of time is distorted type of, you know, explanation, I think you could. Like, I think, you know, I think that in canon, what we are seeing in Drangleic Castle is kind of this like cross section of what Drangleic Castle was or is or something. You know what I mean? And so, like, that thing kind of plucked out of time just happens to be like it's constantly storming and raining and yada yada yada.
We also,
but I mean,
in the Bloodborne DLC, like each area you go to also like has you traveling through time to like visit that area in a specific moment, which is interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot about that just in the Soul series in general, about like the right person at the right time or the right person at the wrong time, like encountering a place or, you know, or something in order to observe it or to fulfill what actually happened there or something like that. It's a big weird thing that Souls does a lot, is just kind of like playing with the idea of like all moments sort of existing next to each other as opposed to like in a linear sense of time or whatever.
Kind of having collapsed in upon itself.
Yeah. Time is a flat circle.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Alright. I think I have cleared the path to the castle. The castle. Drangleic Castle. It's
I like this area a lot.
yeah. Crystal Wizard. I lost it. Wait, isn't the... oh, there she is. The Emerald Herald.
Yeah. If you can stay basically where you are, try not to pull those mammoths.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get down to you and, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here.
She won't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't. She just likes to look at it longingly.
Also, we didn't talk about the fact that she says things. I don't think she said it here, but she says certain things that also get said to you by the like witch in the opening cinematic, suggesting that she is that person. Like she called us on this journey as an old woman, something like that. Another time thing. Let me see if there's anything in chat while I'm waiting on you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Did you drop out?
Okay. I think Discord might have just dropped or something.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. I put my sign down in front of those mammoth, or not in front of the mammoth guys, like right near the front of the gate.
Like where the Emerald Herald is?
Around there, yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for you.
You said something like I dropped out right as you said something like we haven't talked about the fact that.
Oh, the Emerald Herald at one point says a line that is also said to you by the woman in the opening cinematic, suggesting that's her. Like she called you here as an old woman, but when you get here, she's young or something like that.
Right. Some young grandma type of.
I've never actually fought these mammoths, by the way, because there's two of them and they're both big and you can run past them easily.
Yeah, I like to kill them though.
Yeah, let's do it, since now that we're not outnumbered.
Did you see Glitz No Glam in the chat said that feel when your timeline is a time circle?
That is, or what a feel that is. I'm wondering if I know who Glitz No Glam is. Rip to that man.
Good job. Rip to this man. Okay, before we progress, give me just 1 second. I need to step away for just 1 sec. Okay. I'll be right back. Yeah.
I'm just going to gaze lovingly upon this castle. Doing some real Final Fantasy VII posing right here. Oh, it's Izzy. Hi, Izzy. Have you played Dark Souls? Is that a thing that you have done? Are you a Dark Souls person? And I hope YouTube lets me put this as my thumbnail for this video. Hey, I'm going to pop my head up here and see what's up with these guys. This is a cool little part because it introduces this mechanic where to open certain doors, you have to kill an enemy in front of a statue. Like, you have to kite the enemy over to the statue. This is the statue. And it like, collects their soul. Come on, buddy. Come here. Whoop! And his soul goes in there. I love that. It's really neat.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm up here giving the statues what they want.
Right. A really interesting like thing that so we were mentioning.
No.
I almost stopped him too. Yeah. So we were talking about like the whole like Dark Souls and accessibility thing earlier, you know. Whenever last or a few days ago, I guess, mutual friend of ours, Juliana, like they came over to mine and Jessica's apartment.
Yeah.
And they were specifically talking about, like they couched talking about Dark Souls in terms of accessibility, but they were more talking about it as like an interesting concept that like they wanted to know about how Dark Souls like messed with that. And so I guess I wanted to just add as like a
specifically, or they're just kind of
no
academic level.
Yeah, like an academic thing. Yeah. They were saying specifically that they like really enjoy games as kind of a relaxing thing, right? So that like something like Dark Souls is not particularly attractive to them for that reason. Yeah, but they were interested in, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's only relaxing if you are a psycho, I think. But like,
which present.
See you later, Glitz No Glam.
Hi, Izzy. Thanks for stopping in.
But they were saying, they were talking about the game, about accessibility, and they were talking about it on the front end and more like curious as to how they, engaged with it. So I guess I wanted to add as a small caveat to our discussion about that before that, like, I do think that there are people who kind of like approach that in a more good faith way, and if I was like coming off as if like everybody who talks about that is just kind of like being stupid, that's not what I mean.
Definitely not.
I think it's a very, very interesting question.
What do you think Dark Souls, like how does Dark Souls stand regarding that question?
So when I was talking to Juliana about it, I was saying basically more or less the same thing I told you whenever you very first started the game, in that like you are going to find out very quickly if it's something that you're willing to do. You know what I mean? And which in regards to like Dark Souls, which is what I think that Dark Souls is a great like your friend has let you borrow it type of game, right? Like it is unattractive, I guess, if you do have like some kind of issue with accessibility.
$60 to see if it works. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I do think that some people stay away from the game based on that for good reason. Like, and a lot of the people who are that way probably would not really enjoy the game. But basically, what I was telling you whenever you were playing through your first playthrough of Dark Souls is one of the things that I kept saying about it was that like, if you can get to about Sen's Fortress, if you make it that far and you aren't just miserable, you're gonna like the game. You know what I mean? Like if you can,
like once you beat gargoyles, like you're officially into Dark Souls.
You're probably in. Yeah, like it you will know within the first few hours, like if it's an experience that you're interested in doing. And with regards to like literal like so I guess the question is kind of two-pronged, right? Like, so we have a question of like accessibility on terms of like someone's experience with games writ large. Yeah. Like, what kind of accessibility is there for people who don't really want a hard experience, who don't really or aren't interested in it the same way, or aren't interested in the same type of experience that that we have talked about with regards to these games. And I would say to that there probably isn't much there for you. Like, it's probably just not something you're going to enjoy. The same way, like you said before, that like, there are movies that just like people like you're just not going to like it. Like if you're not okay with kind of sitting around and being bored for an hour of the movie,
if you're not okay with the movie being a contemplative experience, then Stalker is not for you.
Exactly. You probably won't enjoy it. And that's fine. Like you can do different things with different things, you know what I mean? Like but on terms of like physical like
is your sign down, by the way?
It is, like at the same place you found me before.
Okay. I'm just waiting for it.
Like on terms of like that physical, like if someone has some kind of physical disability or something like that, that is an area that I think Dark Souls could probably do better in. And that I think that like PC ports of the game, especially if you have like DS6 or something, you can map your controller to better fit your hands and things like this, and obviously you can, on a PlayStation, you can use different controllers as well that might be able to help you out. That would be the direction I would point people in there,
right?
Who are genuinely interested in like, I would love to play Dark Souls, but or love to try it, but doing X or Y or Z thing is really like physically difficult for me. I would say like, well, maybe look into using a different controller, and to emphasize that point, I would say people have beat the game with a Guitar Hero guitar.
Right.
So like,
Or a DDR
it
pad,
is
yeah.
it is doable. Like absolutely. Obviously, those are like ridiculous, like hyperbolic basically situations. But it is to say that like other control mappings work.
Yeah.
And might work for you if you don't have the same like hands for it or whatever.
A game
yeah.
that I think about a lot in relation to Dark Souls is Celeste, which has a lot of the same thematics as Dark Souls. Like it's very much about like overcoming adversity and doing what feels like the impossible. And it's also a game that, oh my god, I just immediately got bored.
Yeah, if they both hit you with that, you'll die. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's try this one more time, and if we can't,
we'll give it one more whack, and
we'll wait for
that's
next
okay.
week. But anyways, like Celeste it also like requires a great deal of precision and determination because it's a super hard game. But it has what's called assist mode, which is basically just like a collection of different accessibility options that is much more precisely tuned than like easy mode, medium mode, hard mode. Like you can adjust the speed at which the animations happen, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering like if it would be possible to do something like that in Dark Souls in the future, like for future remasters or ports or something, or if it would kind of in a way spoil the spirit of the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's the thing, isn't it? Like you have to kind of like weigh.
I'm sure on the artistic level, like what are you trying to preserve? Which I'm not convinced that you wouldn't be able to do that with Dark Souls, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's sad because I think that is an interesting conversation. But it's just games in general. But like in general, those conversations become extremely stupid, extremely fast. Like where the people oftentimes who are crying, who are like crying about people saying they want accessibility are just kind of being like callous jerks. And then on the other end, some of the people who are talking about accessibility are doing so in I don't know if I want to say like in bad faith, but they're not couching it in any kind of like compromising way, and
also,
there
with
is a
anything
level
like
of
this, it's always tricky because the conversation you're really having is a conversation about the whole industry and not about one particular game,
one
particular movie or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Of course, that's how it always is.
But it like one game or one movie kind of gets made into the scapegoat for this issue.
Or becomes like emblematic of it or something in some kind of way. Yeah. The big one like a couple of years ago was when people were talking about like wanting to have like an accessibility mode for Cuphead. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I
didn't pay a whole lot of attention to that conversation.
You shouldn't have. It was stupid.
There's not an easy mode or anything like that for Cuphead?
I don't know. I don't remember. I remember that when the game was first released, I guess there was not one. But there were like people talking about wanting to have one, and some of the people talking about it were kind of just like people who played the game for like a couple of hours. And it's like this maybe isn't the way the game is supposed to be played. Like you could maybe play it for a few more hours and see if you still think that it should have an easy mode or whatever. But then again, I also think that there are some games where like it's like an obviously like the game of, for example, like the games of Mass Effect, for example, or Dragon Age or something, would basically be hurt zero if somebody wanted to put it in like cutscene mode, right, where the game just like played itself.
Yeah.
During the
Death Stranding have a thing like that, like movie mode, essentially.
Probably. But what I'm talking about is like with Mass Effect and like Dragon Age, and a lot of like, even if you want to say like Kentucky Route Zero, right? A game we both really like a lot. Is it going to be hurt a ton by the player not controlling literally everything all the time?
In Kentucky Route Zero, you
really
basically
not.
don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That is about as close to a quote-unquote visual novel as you can ever get, I feel like.
Yeah. And like, these are not mechanically rich games. They're like thematically or narratively rich games.
Yeah.
And, sometimes some games are like that and sometimes they aren't. And, where the line is kind of difficult sometimes. But Dark Souls kind of makes no apologies for itself, and I kind of like that about it.
Yeah, and it's a game where the story, as much as it exists, is like communicated through the playing of it.
Right, exactly.
You can't really get the same experience watching somebody play it. I recognize the irony of saying that on a stream of people watching me play it, but it's experiential.
Yeah.
In a way.
But also, like, again, I would agree that, like, I do think that these games should have, like, remapping options, like, for people who, who like literally are having like physical issues,
because the
like
Switch
with
port
certain
did,
things.
but whenever I started playing DS2 on the PS4, I couldn't remap anything, and so I had to just like learn to play differently than I had before.
Right. Ted says, I'm sure it happens, but I feel like it's something you're concerned about all the time. I feel like you're going to be much more convinced by your own argument. Yeah. Good and bad faith accusations, not discussions. I don't know. It's tangled. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good way to put it, right? Like, I think that there are absolutely, like, times and games and stuff like that should do better about it, and could even do so like relatively easily,
Yeah,
but that they just don't, because it's not normal, quote unquote, like in the norm.
A big easy one is like captions. Games should have captions, like 100% of the time. There's no reason not to, not even an artistic reason not to.
Right.
We are, and there's a bonfire not too far into this.
There's a chest back here. Over here.
Yep.
But also, I mean, like, there is something to be said about, like, some games just aren't for some people, and when it comes to like I don't want to play FIFA, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about that. Like, that game is completely, to me, in not in the sense of like physical barrier, but like in on terms of like
interest,
the mental fortitude that I could like have to do it. Like, I'm just completely unable to do that. You know what I mean? Like, in that way, if we want to use those terms. But like, yeah, hang on, I got him.
I was having
Did
a
you
conversation. Rude.
I guess you can't hit this ghost, huh?
You cannot. He gives you a hint that Vendrick is not actually here.
Yep. I mean, it's not even a hint. He just tells you he's not here.
Yeah. Where has Vendrick gone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's
unfortunately,
Vendrick?
His Highness is absent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you get to the end of it and you talk to the Queen, whose name I'm forgetting right now, and she's like, "Go talk to Vendrick," and you go where she says you're going to talk to Vendrick, and he's not there.
Yeah.
He vanquished 4 great ones and built this kingdom upon their souls. Our king has watched over this land since ages long ago.
Our weapons are ridiculous.
King Vendrick.
Just sitting here looking at both of us holding these giant things.
The king had a dear queen. Long ago, the queen came to us alone. She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giant
She warned Vendrick of the giants. I didn't know that part.
And defeated
Mm-hmm.
Talos with the queen at his side. The king commandeered their power.
He basically tells you the whole story of the game. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to this
Yeah.
first time through.
Created this castle to celebrate victory and to show his love, his gratitude.
Well, I guess he tells you the first half of it, like what
Yeah.
their rise to glory was, and you kind of figure out more about the fall.
A piece of
I think you get the most out of like this dude,
the dark.
Aldia, and Strayed are like
Yeah.
the three big like
Where am I?
the three big like pillars of the story here.
Also,
Everything else
what's
kind of just
the
like
deal with him he says, "Is this a dream?"
yeah.
Like, is he a ghost? Is he asleep? What's going on? Like, why is he a translucent green phantom?
I have always interpreted it. I mean, I could be wrong. I've never like looked up what this guy's supposed to be, outside of like, oh, he's Vendrick's like he's like his major domo basically, but he's like, I get the feeling that he's like time or phase shifted in a way, like he's not here really, but he is, like in the same way that like almost in the same way, but in a more corporeal sense, as like the player phantoms that you see just like walking around sometimes. Yeah, like he's like attached or tethered to another world somehow. Yeah.
We need to go around the back.
Yeah, the bonfire's right down here. Yeah.
Oop. Sublime bone dust.
We love bone dust that is.
We love the ashes of the player from Dark Souls 1.
You have not, just as like a one-to-one thing here, you don't know what the last boss in Dark Souls 3 is, do you?
I think I've seen footage of it, but I don't know much about it.
Okay. Best left that way.
Okay.
Ted says that he got inspired by you to knuckle down and finish Hollow Knight.
Oh, sweet.
That about playing games constantly for a while and then falling off. Yeah, I think that's just kind of a like getting old thing.
And becoming busy.
Yeah, I have the exact opposite problem, where I become completely mentally consumed by a game, and that's all I want to do for literally months.
Yeah.
And it's all I ever want to do or play. Yeah.
Well, we're approaching the end of 2 hours. I feel like we should probably end it here.
Yeah,
but
this is a good spot.
In the deep of the castle.
That's right.
And next time we will meet the queen. We'll have an audience with the queen, and I guess try to go find Vendrick as well. Right?
Yeah, where's he at? We'll find him.
Where's that Vendrick at? All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next Saturday.